In this video, I'm going to be planting in some Strasberry runners and Pineberry runners into my normal strawberries. So stick around and check it out because it's such a cool strawberry and I want to show you both of these varieties and have a bit of a talk about them as I do it. Cheers. G'day everybody, Daz here for my Aussie Garden and Kitchen, and I was graciously gifted these Pineberry and Strasberry runners from Neil at Cool Climate Tropical Fruits. Now I'm so excited because I haven't grown these before and now I've got the opportunity to do so. So I'm going to get them into a couple of grow bags and I'll show you the process and talk about each of them as I go along and do it. They're such a cool strawberry and I'm so excited to have them here in my own garden. So here are the Strasberry runners that I got from Neil. Now, Strasberries are fantastic. They look like a cross between a raspberry and a strawberry, but there's nothing to do with raspberries. Raspberries are a totally different plant, and these have come about from clever crossbreeding, and they're going to have that look of a strawberry crossed with a raspberry, and they're also going to have a bit of a hint of raspberry in flavour, but that's nothing to do with raspberries at all, as I said. That's just clever breeding and crossbreeding, and this is the end result of a lot of time and effort, and I'm so excited to have them here in my garden. Now, they're rich in vitamin C, and also they're not fertile, so I could plant these in a pot together, and they're not going to produce flowers and fruit. So what you need to do is you need to plant Strasberries in a container or a garden with standard strawberries. It doesn't really matter what variety they are, as long as they're a standard strawberry. You can't plant them in with Pineberries, which are another form of strawberry, because they also need strawberries to pollinate them. So you need to put Strasberries in with standard strawberries, which is what I'm going to do now. For now, I'm going to transplant all three of these in with 4 standard strawberries. This is a 15-gallon grow bag, and for the time being, this is where they'll be for this spring and summer for me. I'm 2 weeks away from spring as I'm talking to you now. And then in future, what I'll probably do is maybe take out a couple of the strawberries and one of these, and I'll put these into another grow bag or another garden bed. So with growing strawberries and Strasberries, it's a very similar process when planting them and caring for them. So all we've got to do is get the strawberries and just put them into the soil, making sure the roots are down into the soil, and we want the crown, which is this part up here above the roots. We want the crown just to sit just above the soil a little bit, but nice and firm and comfortable in that soil. So I'm just quickly doing that now, as you can see. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put the strawberries around the outside, and I'll have the Strasberries in the middle. All right, so what we'll do now is we'll take the Strasberries, and I'm just going to pop the first one in the absolute middle, like so. Again, making sure that crown sits up. And then after I've played with this and settled it all down with watering and stuff like that, I'll just come back and I'll just check and make sure that those crowns are still sitting up above the soil a little bit and they haven't sunk down, because we don't want them down under the dirt at all. I'm just going to pop another Strasberry in here between these 2 strawberries. Now I would like to actually probably space this out a bit better, but I just don't have the containers and the room at the moment to be doing so. So this is going to be perfectly fine for now, for this coming season anyway. So we'll just get this last Strasberry over in the other side here, between 2 strawberries, like so. Again, making sure the crown sits up in the dirt. What you could do is you could actually mound the dirt under the strawberries and have a slight mound and the crown sitting at the top of the mound and the roots inside that mound where you've got your soil level. And then obviously the roots will go down into all that soil. The sun's just come from out of the clouds, so do forgive me if it's so bright at the moment. Now, what I want to say also was, with strawberries, you need to keep the soil moist because you really want to have succulent berries and you need that moisture in the soil to help that happen. So do keep them watered and try to keep them fed with, say, a berry fertiliser. I've got this one here. I've got my fingers over the brand, but yeah, look, this is a strawberry and berry fertiliser that I like to use, and I'll give them a watering every now and then, And when they're actually flowering and fruiting, I'll water them with this diluted about every week, and it does a really good job. So now with mine, right now that I've planted them in, just need to give them a watering in. And then after I've watered them in, I'll give them a mulching with sugarcane mulch. Now sugarcane mulch is really important, or any mulching is really important, because that's going to retain the moisture, and it's also going to stop any weeds and stuff like that. And it's also good, especially for strawberries, because you can have the strawberry runners and the leaves growing over the top of that mulch. And of course the mulch is eventually going to break down and become part of the soil. So there we go, I've watered that in. I'm quite happy with that. I'll let that soak in. And then off camera, I'm going to mulch this. I don't have any mulch on me right now. I need to get some. So that'll be the very next step, is to get the mulch down. And these are done, that's it. And it's just a matter of watching them now. And then hopefully I'll have some beautiful strawberries and strasberries growing in this container. Can't wait. Okay, so here I am with my second grow bag. It's another 15-gallon grow bag. And this one has now got pine berries. So I've got pine berries here, here, and here. And I've got standard strawberries here, here, and here. And I've got a beautiful bare-rooted pine berry right here. Look at those beautiful roots. And I'll just pop that one here. I'll just make a bit of a impression in the soil and pop those roots down, making sure all of the roots are covered by soil and there's no air pockets, and just gently lifting it here, making sure that the crown here stays above the soil. Now once I've watered this, I'll make sure that all the soil is level and the crowns are above the soil. So I'll just go around and just check them like so with my fingers, try not to damage the plants, which I did just then. And of course, after this, I'll mulch them. Now, with the soil here, in fact, look at this. I just found another worm. This is fantastic. Love seeing worms in the garden. There you go, mate. You go down there and have a happy life. Okay, with the soil is a combination of homegrown compost that I make here in my yard, and I mix that with the sandy soil that I have in my yard, and that's great having the sandy soil because it's really good for drainage. Now, although you want to keep the soil moist for strawberries, you do want to make sure it's got good drainage, and the sandy soil in this is going to help. Now, with pineberries, like the strasberries earlier, need normal strawberries. I should point to the normal strawberry to help them produce flowers and fruit. They can't do that by themselves. So again, just like a strasberry, a pineberry needs to be planted in with normal strawberries to produce fruit. They're also rich in vitamin C, and they're going to be a white looking strawberry with the red seeds on the outside and have a pineapple taste. And although they have that pineapple taste, they have nothing to do with pineapples. Like the strasberries, they're very carefully bred over time and made into what they are today. So although they've got that pineapple taste, nothing to do with pineapples. There was never a pineapple involved in the growing and breeding of these beautiful strawberries. So once again, we just water in these ones just like we did with the strasberries. And of course, these will get a mulching, beautiful sugarcane mulch to retain the moisture and suppress the weeds and eventually become an organic matter in with this soil. Something I wanted to mention about grow bags is that this one, for instance, is a 15-gallon grow bag. And what I like to do is I like to get them as wide as possible, but not too high. And then if they are too high, what you can do is just fold over the sides. So as you can see here, I've just folded over the edge, and rather than having a grow bag that sits up so high and I don't want to use that much soil, I can just fold over the top like so, fold it over the edge, and I've got a grow bag that's still got the same diameter, all that space, but I've lowered the height of the grow bag by this much, and I'm not using as much soil, and it's going to suit me very well with the strawberries, pineberries in this case, and the mulch. Okay, so we've got the pineberries planted in with the strawberries here. We've got the strasberries planted in with the strawberries there. I'll be showing you both as they grow, and hopefully I'll be showing you what they look like when I eat them. I need to thank Neil from Cool Climate Tropical Fruits, a fellow Aussie website, for his generosity in sending me some. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you got a little bit out of it, and I didn't ramble too much, but I'm just so excited about these. There's a video appearing on my screen right now. If you wouldn't mind checking that out next, I'd really appreciate it. Please leave your comments down below. Consider giving me a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much, and bye for now.